Welcome to week 10. So, this week, what we're doing is we're going to learn a little bit about sculpture and some different ways that you can actually sculpt and create pieces of work. Today, I'm going to focus mainly on modeling and carving, and then I will share with you some assemblage and casting images and short clips from YouTube. I do not have those materials, so it would be hard for me to demonstrate that. What I'm using right now is clay, and so I was going to start out by showing you how to model, let's say, a bust, which is a human figure from the shoulders down. And this is a very quick rendition. But with modeling, what that means is I'm going to actually model, manipulate, and create and add on additive materials to build my sculpture. So a few things that you'll do is you'll just start and you will build up your form. So let's say we want to, I know it's kind of hard to see, and I'm doing it from the back, so we'll see what happens here. But I'm going to work on building his nose. So I'm just going to go through, and I can keep adding clay for how much I feel I need to have. So right now, he's going to have somewhat of a large nose. But the best part about that is you can always take away. So once you get kind of the form you like and what you're doing, then you can build from there. So now I'm just working kind of on the bridge of his nose, give him a little bit of a shape, and then I'll just keep adding material, clay, to his face until I like what I have here. Currently I'm adding on some eyes, but once I connect them and weld them on, they'll take a little bit better shape. And we can always work on that later. So with modeling and the additive process, I'm just adding more material to my sculpture. This week, I'd like you guys, I'm going to give it as an extra credit opportunity, but I would like you to build some type of sculpture. So we'll start here by giving him some lips. And then you'll just pull a little. To start, I'm just placing everything where I want it, and then I can go back and clean it up. So I'm actually going to turn them around for a little bit so I can see what I have here. And kind of make it a little bit more human-like. And if there are areas that I thought were too thick, I can go through and just thin them out. You can also take other tools and carve. So this would be subtractive method. And you can carve out some details, like his eye socket or eye inside of his eye here. And then maybe he is got a mohawk. So I would continue adding more clay. You don't want it to be too thin because that creates breakage. But here I've got a nice looking mohawk going. Try to figure out. And then I could also build some ears. Sometimes what you might do is actually build separate little pieces And then when you think you've got one that you like, here's my ear. I can attach that. Now that's a pretty big ear, but we'll attach it and then we'll pull it back a little bit. So now he's got an ear. And his profile doesn't look too bad. I mean, his mohawk's going down his nose, so I may want to finish that a little bit and fix it. But that is modeling, where you would take and build onto a sculpture. Another sculpture I can just go through and I can carve out some areas because I want some areas to be thicker and some to be thinner. So I'm going to make just like a little tree here. I won't spend too much time on it. So what I'm doing right now is I'm carving. So I'm going to go through and carve and take away areas that I don't want. I'm not using the best tool for carving, but it will work. Right now I'm working on a tree. And so relief sculptures, sometimes they add to, but a lot of times they carve it away. And they don't necessarily have to be done in clay. They might be done in wood, like a wood carving, or marble. But being that I had clay here, that's what I am using. And you can kind of see it taking shape. I started a tree. Let's see if I can get more of this out so you can actually see what it looks like a little bit better. A lot of times if you were to do this at this stage, what you would want to do is wait for the clay to be leather hard, which means that it's been drying out for a day or two maybe, and it's more stiff. It's like a little piece of leather. That way you can actually really carve into it and make it so that it doesn't, wherever you touch, doesn't kind of also change. And you have a better chance of getting what you are really trying to achieve when it is leather hard. So low relief means that it protrudes from the background So here is my tree so far, and you can kind of see how it's protruding. If I turn it, you can even see it protrudes out from the background just a little bit. You can kind of see there, but I do know it's a little bit hard to see. Then the other one is high relief. And basically what that means is whatever you're creating is protruding out from the base a lot. So one example of that might be we'll just go with a face, since I did a face on that other one too. And these would also either be carved or added onto. I'm adding currently because my slab was really thin. And then you can always go back in and carve it too. And here is an example of high relief where it's really coming from the background. It really sticks out. They would even probably stick out a little further than this. And then I could as well go through and carve some designs to give them some details. So I made him a little bit of hair, and I added some hair on his eyebrows too. So I would like you, I know you may not have clay, but I would like you to create a sculpture this week. And you can be creative. If you want to use some materials that you have around the house and do an assemblage, you could do that. If you have casting material, you could do that as well. Or you could do clay sculptures. If you don't have clay, you could make Play-Doh. There's a lot of homemade Play-Dohs that are available for people to make. Or you could use a sculpture that you've already created in the past, and you could share that with me and write a little bit about what category it would fit in, as well as how you made it, what were the things that you had to do to make it, how it was built, and why you chose those different designs. It's up to you. It's extra credit. I thought it would be something fun to get your hands on a material and start working. And you can do either this would be considered a sculpture in the round. When I'm done with it, you would be able to see it from all sides. So again, we also have sculpture in the round, low relief, and high relief that we learned about this week. All right, I'm excited to see what you have coming this week. And I will see you on Thursday.